Hey guys, I thought I'd make a real quick video going through the process of how to get to the GMAS tool so your students can practice. There have been several changes and a little bit more of the questions have to do with drag and drop options now. Some of the graphic options are a little different, and also cut and paste in the language arts sections for your written portion. So there's just some things that I think if the students were familiar with it, then hopefully would help them when it comes closer time for our training for GMAS. All right, so first thing, each day we will have a designated content that will focus on this. So when we come back from spring break, on April the 12th will be ELA, on April the 13th will be math, April the 14th will be science, and April the 15th will be social studies, and we will be going to the Georgia Experience Online.com. Now, I will put all of that in the email, so if you don't remember your dates, then you can look back. So once you get to this screen, your students get to this screen, then you are going to go to test practice. It may be helpful for your students to follow along, but I still would put it on a projector so that there were some things that we go over a full group as well. Okay. All right. So if you go to test practice, now you have two options. You have an EOC and an EOG. We're looking for end of grade, which is ours, online training. Then we're going to go to EOG test practice. Now we're going to go to standard online tools. Okay, that's where the majority of our students are. Grades 6 through 8. Now, if you're looking for the username and password, it tells you right above it. So we're going to put in Georgia 68, and the password will be training. Now, once you get to this portion, please remind students that if this was actually the real GMAS, these would be student specific, okay? It would have their name and it would have the whatever test that we were doing on that day. If it was ELA, math, whatever. So to remind them when they actually open up the test to look for those, because that is important. We're going to hit continue. Now we're going to click on the test practice again, and it's going to begin the test practice directions. Now this is pretty important because sometimes the kids just want to skip through this, but we may have some students that have moved in that have never taken the GMAS. So please don't take that for granted. Let's look and talk about the help button, test directions. We may even have to tell some how to turn to the next page. The pointer, they talk about that. How to flag something is important so they know to go back to that, but make sure that they remember to go back, etc., etc. Okay? I'm not going to go bogged down in all this, but remember to review those kind of things. There is a, when they're answering questions, it goes step by step, and if you want to give them a chance to just read through it, and then if they have questions, it's up to you as according to what level you're talking to, okay? All right, so here's the tools. I think we should definitely take the time to tell what each one of these are for, even maybe let the kids take turns telling you what they could be used for. Okay. There is helpful testing tips, and you may want to make sure that they have a review and let them understand that if they have flagged something before, there's their chance to go back and to fill in that question before they submit it. Okay, so now they're going to begin the test, and the first one we see is language arts. This is something we've done before, but as a teacher, I would take the time, now is your chance to show them how to do, if I want to cross out something, what it would look like, those kind of things, okay? A highlighter, if I need to highlight something. So as a teacher, maybe on your projector, go through those to show them all of those different tools. Also, flipping the page is something that's important. Written, you could give them a chance to do that. ELA if you wanted to. Main thing for ELA, please make sure that you tell them right here on the checklist where to find that, how to enlarge it, how to go down. So, because it was just like having a rubric for your writing, so they need to know that. And this is something that's really, they have emphasized how to cut and paste. They've never really done that before. So make sure that they know how to go backwards, forwards, undo, that kind of stuff. Okay, we were talking about drag and drop And so we, this kind of stuff is something that they may be familiar with if they're doing Edulastic or whatever, and I would tell them that they were probably familiar with it in another different type of program, but now they've just sent it on to GMAS. Okay? All right, again, they're just practicing on these. Again, tell them to talk about that checklist again. And this is something that is new for them because they've never had to drag and drop a full sentence like this. So again, just letting practice. Drop down menus. We've never had these before on a GMAS. So again, a lot of technology enhanced tools that they're going to be using. So we're moving on to math. Okay, now as you can see, let them practice typing out an equation or those types of things. That may be something that is hard, especially thinking about fractions. Okay, so they're going to be looking at just here's a part A and a part B. A long time we've been know that was coming. So part A, part B. Make sure they understand that those two are related to the same question. Now they're going to be creating. So let them have a chance to look and see what are we doing here. How do they, how do they undo those kind of things. So it's just practicing. Again, we see a drag and drop here. Okay. We're writing an expression, so what happens now? So a lot of these things they may have seen in class on other programs again, but let's let them practice. Like this is not something that we've done before on GMAS, okay? So let them go ahead and just practice where they feel comfortable with it. And then science and social studies for the ones that are in 6th and 7th grade, if we can give them those days to come back and practice again with this for math and for ELA. But there is some science focused ones. If you want to just let them play with it, just to go ahead and get ready for that. So they have to refer back to the graph on the left. Okay. All right. So that is it. Whenever they finish, it's just to be able. It is just for them to feel comfortable. Okay. So they're doing a timeline here, lots of drag and drop. And as long as they understand the process of this drag and drop and drop down menu, cut and paste with ELA, they should be great. Okay. So that's all I have. One more time, the 12th is ELA, 13th is math, 14th is science, 15th is social studies, and we will be doing that the week we get back from spring break. So if you can please make notation of that on your lesson plan, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you guys, and have a great spring break.